Hi, this is Codeweaver, and welcome back to Codeweaver Plays Games. So, I am going to do a short stream because I have obligations in the early afternoon, but I just felt like playing a little bit. So, before I get started, I just wanted to note that Eurogamer just put out their top 10 games of the generation. And I think they put it out. Oh no, they put that one out on the article. Looks like it's actually a little bit old. Now that I come to look at the date, I believe that's reading September 18th of 2020. So they didn't just put it out. But I am kind of interested to note because I just got this posted at me from someone else. That quite a few games are on my list, but one of my favorites, Outer Wilds, actually made the cut at number 3. And I was going to show the article very briefly on here, but I don't think I'm going to. Just go look it up. Eurogamer top 10 games of the generation 2020, and take a look at the list. There's some great stuff in here actually. Other ones that I either partially or completely played and want to get back to. Kentucky Route Zero, I think, is a delightful indie title that I only played the first 2 chapters of and then lost track of it. I really, really want to check it out again because I don't remember nearly enough about it. A lot of ones like The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, played the heck out of that, loved that. And quite a few others that I've enjoyed. Undertale, for example, another obvious example. I've also got a few on here that I haven't played. I haven't played Nier Automata yet. I might want to check that out. Titanfall 2. Legend of Zelda, and there's a lot in the honorable mentions that definitely get called out to. Papers, Please, for example, I've played, is lovely, and I haven't finished, but quite like Return of the Obra Dinn. These honorable mentions are easily as worthy depending on your tastes. Yeah, so go check that out if you haven't already. I thought it was a very interesting read to see what kind of games that other games that I might like to get into. So, yeah. Granted, months old at this point. Didn't realize that until just this second, but I thought it was quite an interesting list. So, anyway, let's get on to what I actually came here for, which is. And I haven't even launched it because I am kind of not paying attention that way. Let's just launch it right now. Hopefully that'll come straight on up in the stream. Oh yes. Oh yes, quite lovely. The story so far. Aaliyah and her new robot 6 are on the trail of the missing Eoxian, Janaki Renba. I never know if it's Janaki or Janiki. I'll have to listen for the audio of the game. He was last heard of visiting the farming moon of Mercy. Aaliyah has been asked to sail there and investigate. So we're in a society. I should preface this by saying this is not a blind playthrough, so don't expect a blind playthroughness. I haven't played it in a while, and I got inspired to replay it because Lady Lecta, one of our fellow Twitch streamers, she's doing a wonderful job exploring this game and loves the heck out of it. So do I, and for a lot of the same reasons. That's what inspired me to go and do this again, because it's not a sort of, I guess you could say, pure journey, like Journey. See what I did there. But it is a game that has a lot of very relaxing journeying elements while still having a very sort of immersive mystery gameplay to it. There's sort of one of the primary puzzle components, which you'll probably see shortly, really tickles me because it's sort of a nice intellectual puzzle without being like overtly puzzly, I guess, because it actually serves the narrative of the game in a very important way. So here we go. Press any key to continue. Now, when last we were with these two, we were about to head out sailing the river, which you can see depicted on the screen here. These are apparently, I guess you could say, rivers between parts of the local cosmos. And we don't know why at this point in the story. And we're looking for Renba Janaki, or Janiki. I am, because I have a little bit of a storytelling quirk in me, I guess, I will attempt to do some very vague attempts at voice distinction, but I'm certainly no voice artist, so I apologize in advance. Let's get on with this. I'm rambling. And I don't have a lot of time, so I want to do a little bit of exploration. I can see the force of the river is fastest in the middle, mistress. So we do have the ability to have limited control. We can do this sort of sail sweep thing to give us a little bit of a boost. Sail back and forth. Our route goes left. Our route goes left momentarily, mistress. I cannot do the primary character's voice. This is your ship, mistress? Robots are easy, but the actual part of this, by the way, is voice acted. Not all of it. A very small portion of it. But, oh, hang on. There's a question-reply thing here to chat as you go. What do you think? She is very beautiful, mistress. I'm going to intentionally go the wrong way just to extend this. But I cannot help wondering how you came by her. Now you can backtrack, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to sail around for a bit just to get some of the dialogue. Yes, I know I missed the turning. I don't want to reset, thank you. Just let me go on. So now I can reply. I found her in a ruined hall on Elbereth, covered in dust. I cannot do the main character's accent. I can't mimic accents very well. She must have been someone's prized possession once. She's mine now. I mean, I'm not even gonna try. Please don't ask me to try. Oh, I missed that turn. That would have been nice. Doesn't matter. The waters to the right will bring us to Mercy, mistress. I believe the only voice navigation, again, going to temporarily bypass this just because I want to take in the landscape. Starscape? Not really stars. Planetary scape? Nebulascape, I think it would be a better question. So how did you end up in a hole on Iox? Oh, that was wrong voice. That was supposed to be her. I have no idea, mistress. I do not know when I was buried, or what I had done to deserve it. Professor Miyari assures me it is part of the Great Loop. So they have this sort of, I guess you could say, sort of religious belief along a little bit along the idea of reincarnation, that things in the past become the future. Because their civilization essentially collapsed through wars and the like, and they eventually rebuilt it. But they're far more. I mean, they do have a good education system.
They say on Iox that the rivers flow with the souls of the dead. Anything to scare you to the ground.
Anything to scare you to the. I'll have to practice that offline. Terrible at catching the nuances in Perhaps robots are a naturally occurring mineral. Perhaps there are robots inside all of the moons of the nebula waiting to be mined. I don't actually know who's saying that. Maybe moons are robot eggs. During our journey, we will occasionally find shipwrecks just sort of on the side of the river that we can pull over and check out. And these become informationally important, not necessarily
the robot
strictly...
hoppered away, and I was alone.
He's got such
Then
a
it
lovely
came
voice for this. I recovered a hardbound book, empty except for some algebraic components. Wonder how long it's been out there. On the inside cover, here's some marked glyphs. I'm gonna have to slow down the text. Everything in this is real time. Is that a single word? Most likely not. Ancient scribes didn't always put trouble to put in their spaces. Well, they expect your writing to be read. So this is the primary sort of puzzle mechanic, and while strictly speaking this piece of information is probably not directly critical to the story, it gives a little bit of lore, but in tiny, tiny pieces, which is nice because that means you don't have like a wall of text to read. But it also helps you decode messages that are important, so and it does serve the game in that larger aspect, and I think this is a perfect connection between sort of an incidental bit of story and a mechanic, and serving the broader game. I think it's just such a lovely thing to do. So it's a hardbound book. These symbols do seem to have individual meaning. Lady Lecta quite correctly pointed out, and I probably noticed this before, that the presence of this X probably means a negation or an opposite, or the other side of another word, I guess. Not necessarily an opposite. It's not totally clear. So this could be that could be what that means, but it's not in our main message. There are relationships here, though. The presence of a lot of these sort of coat hanger symbols may represent either royalty, nobility, or a strength of position in the culture. So that was an interesting observation that I never directly made myself, which is kind of cool. I like that. You can see this doesn't quite match up though, and so we don't know how to put this together. Except maybe this. This might be holy. But if that's holy, you see, as a piece of a word, then that means that there are actually spaces in here. And so it's presented as one word here until we break it up, maybe. Then we might get additional options for the other words. So you can see here that now this mode, instead of trying to break up a larger sentence into pieces, we're now in, we have a piece, can we fit a word to it? And we have a relationship here. Now, if there is a relationship here because at least of some of the squiggles, that's a pretty weak relationship, but there might be some connection. Something, holy something. Now, there are some relations in pictographs. I believe water, again, not a blind playthrough, want to be clear on this, so I do believe, especially since I watched at least part of Lady Lecta's ongoing series, wavy lines, I think, have some water or flow relationship, and this doesn't look like that, so I doubt it's water, but holy, I mean, it could be, but this might be rays. I'm going to say light. But if that's holy light, so the opposite of banished might be accepted. Probably maybe not await holy light, follow holy light. Does follow holy light work? If only we could read the whole volume. The fact that there's sort of remark. How old is the nightingale, mistress? I'm not sure. Almost 1,500 years old, maybe. That's Mercy. You can see the greenery from here. I'm going to try to slow down the text. It is in real time. So that's one of the interesting things about this game, is it's remarkably difficult to stream, as other streamers have pointed out, because you have to keep on your toes. The conversations are almost quick time events in and of themselves. Mercy, a farming moon. If Renba's here, I need to find him. And if he's not, I need to work out where he went.
We stepped off the ship and into the mud. Mud covered the ground and rock. And everywhere I looked, things were growing from the mud. And some of those things had legs.
Look at this place. Breathe the air. I cannot breathe, mistress. As you are no doubt aware. 6 is a bit salty in his own right. Well then, let's see where Enma's got to. If we're really lucky, he'll have found an old pot. Question. So where do we start? There's a series of rice terraces. If we climb up away from the water, that should take us to the village. But there is no way I'm crossing that, mistress. Robots cannot swim. You can wait, can't you? My power source is good for millennia, mistress. Waiting will not be an issue. Patience, however, is more limited. Tell that to Miari. So I'm just going and poking my nose into little nooks and crannies. Oh, hello. Something here? No, nothing here. Alright, I was going to adjust the text speed. Let's turn that all the way down. That may cause problems in some cases and not others, but... I guess there really is nothing down here, huh? That's a pity. Just side along the edge of this rice paddy. Again, I really do love the art style of this game. I love the fact that that all of the characters' animations are hand-drawn. It adds an almost unique aesthetic. There's something scratched here. The emblem of Iox. I suppose this is where the Mercian leave goods for the Ioxians to collect. Well, Janiki won't be hiding in there. That tithe barn was big. This moon produces a surplus, mistress. For what good it does them.
The air smelled earthy and sweet.
Question. Where does all the water here come from? There is a wellspring in the rock below us, mistress. The soil is permanently saturated by it. Alright. Look at her. She towers over everything. Helbereth has a statue like that, sort of. It's just a pair of feet. Iox must approve. Although I understand they destroyed similar statues on other moons. Look at this thing. Where is she from? From the material, I would judge it was not quarried here, but most likely close by. It's very big, you understand. You can't be sure? No. It has been here long enough for its various radiation signatures to have faded. Question. What is a wellspring, anyway? A source, mistress. Nothing more. But what is a wellspring? How does it work? Evidently, it is a source, mistress. Well, that's decidedly unhelpful. It has no mechanism, as I understand it. So, some complicated education going on here in the sciences. Clearly, they have some knowledge of astronomy, metallurgy, ceramics, and so on and so forth, as we've discovered or had implied a couple of parts of the game. Can you do a scan for Jenicky or something? Can you? Wrong voice. Mistress has taken me for a dog. Perhaps you believe if I had a scrap of clothing, then I could trace his scent. Salty. Ooh, another question. Ongoing incidental questions. Can you do that? Can you do that? Trace a scent? No, mistress. If I see him, I will let you know. Alright then. Something carved here. This is a game where exploration is, and knowledge is key. Symbols in the ancient script. I might be able to translate them. I'm pretty sure this is water because of that symbol. This one... I go with Holy Water Goddess because it's actually on the water statue. And it has at least one sort of royalty symbol. I could still change my mind, but... Holy Water Goddess? Maybe they have a pig god too. I would expect pigs to be atheists, mistress. Probably. By definition. I suppose there's nothing old here. No ruins, no ancient kings. No crumbled towers. Of course not, mistress. This is a farmyard. Alright. Oh, reply. This is a waste of time, that's what it is. Renba's probably back on Iox again right now. A bit resentful of her mission, I think. Professor Miari would have contacted me. Professor Miari would have contacted me if that was the case, mistress. He's out here, somewhere. Waiting. Alright, nothing over here. That's totally fine. Didn't necessarily expect there to be anything. Just want to poke my nose into the nooks and crannies. Oh, hello. Question. A wellspring is a source of what? Commonly, water. Also, air. Actually get down into the patio here. Yeah, there's a ramp. Not sure what good it'll do me, but don't want to go to the upper field quite yet. Rice. Do they grow any? Do they grow anything else here? It would not appear so. Hello. Ooh, question. What did you make of Renba's brooch, Six? Good question. The one he sent to Miari. I was struck by the craftsmanship. It seemed very fine to me. It is an artisanal product. High status. How high status? Hard to say. Possibly very high. Question again. So it's valuable? Most likely. Mistress surely does not intend to sell it? No, the question is, where did Renba get it? And why did he give it to the professor? Fair questions. A warehouse. I thought I saw a face at the window. I didn't catch it, but apparently she did. A woman. She ducked out of sight. Well, we will eventually get up there. Oh, I guess we're getting up there now because we can't go any further down this road, so. This moon seems most poor to me. There are no proper buildings. There is mud everywhere. You've never seen fields before. Can't actually move at this point. This is how most people live. I did not intend to give offense, mistress. I've never been off Iox before. Forget it, Six. Just maybe keep your voice down a little. Can't really get into the back of that, that's fine. Towards the village, which I will get to eventually. Even more rice. Oh, missed the question there. Let's see if we can still ask it. I could scoop enough into my bag to fill an Elberethian family for a week. No one would even notice it was gone. Iox would notice. Why can't everywhere be like this? Enough food, enough space, water to spare. Indeed, mistress. How many moons are there in the Iox Protectorate, Six? At last settlement, it was 23. Head up here. Where we can get to this. I will wait out here, mistress. You. I'm looking for someone. You are from Iox. I was born on Elbereth. But you are from Iox? Down the audio a bit. My name is Aaliyah. Then you are not her. Not Miari. I'm not Miari. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I should have said nothing. Oh, interesting. I was curious, mistress. It's a woman like that why Renba came here. Can we even traipse out after her here? Humans are most curious, mistress. But it would seem someone from Iox has visited here recently. Guess I probably missed an opportunity here. It appears Renba was never here, mistress. Perhaps we should return to the ship. Ooh, no. We have not yet fully explored this place. Miari told me to look, so I'm looking. Do you know what Renba taught? Robotics, mistress. Did you ever talk to him? He interviewed me shortly after my activation. That memory is somewhat hazy, however. Kinda want to see if I can track her down. What is he like, Renba? I could not judge him, mistress. The interview was largely technical. He was mostly concerned with ensuring my vision was in line with his expectations of gravity. Interesting way to put a calibration test, I suppose. Alright, let's see if we can track where she went. Definitely no robots here. Just want to know, not down there. Let's see if she went up this direction. I don't imagine Renba met that woman on Iox after all. Oh. A different tone there. I think her implication is that the only way they would have known each other is if they met here. So if there are no robots, why are there ramps everywhere? It's a fine question. Iox uses robots to to collect produce from moons in the Protectorate. Seems like it would be easy to stop the robots taking anything. Pull up a few walkways and put up some stones in the way. I cannot imagine that would make any difference, mistress. Robots are versatile. Okay. Let's verify. I can't go over here, can I? No. Alright. Isn't the Protectorate too many moons to manage? There are no threats at present. Up this way. Oh, so this goes directly to the village. The other path went to the terraces. Alright. We'll have to circle back around. Iox wants more moons in the Protectorate. Iox has sufficient income at the moment, mistress, I think. But the Ioxian population is not falling.
This was what passed for a street on Mayurzi. Buildings on stilts, jumping out of the bushes like children. It was so quiet.
Mayurzi, huh? So noted on the pronunciation. Let's go around the back here first. Why do they build on stilts, do you think? Surely it doesn't flood up here. The mud, perhaps, mistress. Well, perhaps animals sleep underneath. Very pragmatic. Oh, approaching the well from the other side. That's alright.
3 paths met at the heart of the village. I could imagine them all, sitting around here in the evenings, sipping rucker and singing. It seemed nice.
Stranger. Greetings. Greetings to you. Welcome to Myrcy. You have come to trade? This is a beautiful moon you have. It is wet enough for us, certainly. Perhaps you can help me. I'm looking for someone. Who? Not a Myrcian, surely. We are alike as ants to you. Definitely some class layers in the society. Once again, in case somebody's wondering, this is not my first playthrough of this. It's just been a very, very long time. I was inspired to play it by another streamer, and I felt like revisiting. So I find it quite beautiful. See no strangers. You know what? That's not true. So you are looking for a Myrcian. I'm hoping a Myrcian can help me. We see strangers from time to time. Mostly they buy the rice. They think they pay well, but they don't. But there's no one here now who shouldn't be. Or there wasn't. Good luck with your search. They say the nebula is wide. Helpful. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get a lot of help from these guys, but shall we leave? No, I want to look around some more. Still a few things I want to take a look around for. Come on, Six. Let's try this way. What do you think, mistress? Was Janiki here? I think it's clear because of that woman's reaction he was. Of course he was. And whatever he was doing, it must have been important. I'm not sure we know that yet, but alright. This is the upper terrace? Maybe? And what do the moons get out of being in the Protectorate? Theoretically, it is the support of the Ioxian Guard. But that is largely historical. More water. Just sitting here. What are the Chronicles of Mazwai that Huang is always reading about? I believe Mazwai was a pilgrim sailor. She writes about the various places of the nebula. Cool. And about how the loop has acted in these places. The loop being this concept of theirs that sort of a reincarnation-esque thing on a scale of time, that things in the past happen over and over again. Mazwai believes in the Great Loop, then. Mazwai is an original source for the hypothesis, Mistress. As much as anything is a source in the loop, Mistress. Master Huang says the book became who is speaking? Master Huang says the book became common shortly after the establishment of the Holy Empire. 6. What do you know about the Loop Temple? I know little of the Loop, Mistress. The Loop priests claim that life is a great cycle. They believe that all that happens has happened before. Using the question or reply thing here. Literally happened. Do they think we've had this conversation before? I believe that is the idea, Mistress. Is it true? The probability of it is incalculable, Mistress. There is no meaningful data. The Loop Temple is extremely well placed, Mistress. They have a lot of money and significant power. They are the heart of the Protectorate. Good faith to you. My apologies, Dioxian. My pigs need me. Please, if you could just... Okay. The locals don't seem surprised to see me. Or to see you. I imagine robots collect supplies from here routinely. The locals, I note, also do not seem pleased to see you. Did I do something wrong? You came here. Perhaps that is all. Yeah, we're gonna go towards the fields. I kind of feel like I'm missing something. Not sure what it is yet, though. Don't want to climb higher just yet. There's not many people here tending to all of these crops. Plants are not like pigs. They do not require constant husbandry. What do you know about pigs? I meet people. They are also livestock. Ooh, that's a dark statement. So were you off while you were buried? Asleep? Is that why you can't remember it? I do not know, Mistress. I cannot remember. Maybe the roboticists wiped your memory after they dug you up. If I'd been buried alive for 100 years, I might be mad. I'd be mad. It was longer than that. 1,000 years, perhaps? But I cannot remember them. I wonder what else you used to know. Literally an artifact of the passage of time. Time traveler in the strictly forward direction. I'm gonna go back to the well one more time. There must be someone here I can talk to. If Iox does not believe in history, what is it they think you do? Iox believes in the loop. They believed what has happened will happen again. They think I'm out discovering the future. Oh. Is that an inscription? At least this won't be a completely wasted trip. It has been mostly scratched away. More symbols. I've got one of these words in my notebook, but I can take a chance on what's left. Right, we had a relationship to Banished before, only it was without the cross mark. And again, okay, so related words, banished and follow. Related word is also banished. But if it's not follow, it's lead. It's very close to follow. But that eliminates guard, crystal, and heal if it really is that close. The closest thing that could reasonably be is sort of a some sort of direction, maybe, or an intent to go in a direction, or to, yeah. So this is the only one that's kind of close in that sort of category of word, maybe. But if that's holy water from, I mean, there's barely a relationship here. I don't really see the relationship at all, so I'm kind of going to ignore banished. But let's take a look at this one. Now, again, not my only playthrough, and Lady Electa made a very clever observation that some of these symbols are literally pictograms that have a connection to the word, which makes sense, right? And this one I thought was light because of the rays. I don't know if I got that from her. I might not have. But this being mountain does have some sort of meaning. And when you see that this might be like an element of some kind, fire, earth, water, that kind of thing. If this is light and this has the two bracketing symbols here, then maybe that represents this being earth or rock. But the primary reason, actually, I would not have noticed that, and I don't think I noticed that on my first playthrough. The reason why I think it might be from something earth is because of this word below, and of the combination here from danger earth, from metal earth, from time earth, doesn't really work. If I try to use on, like from danger on, from time on, from metal on, from below. I mean, none of that makes sense. It doesn't seem to be that kind of word. So it's either earth or rock. I'm gonna go with. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with rock for the moment, but it could be earth. It could be one of the two. But below is the only one to me that makes any sense here. Just from the sake of putting together a sentence. And it's a well, right? So if it's a well, from below rock or from below earth makes a lot of sense. Holy water from below rock. Okay, so she doesn't seem to reject that translation or to question it, so that's a pretty good indication. It's vaguely in the right... Oh, hey, I can talk to this guy again. All right. Another thing. Yes. Do you recognize this? I recognize the symbol of our Ioxian masters, of course. Definitely a lot of classism in this society. Oh, I kind of want to ask both directions. But do you recognize this brooch? No. No one here wouldn't own a brooch like that. Not every slave must wear their chains. Oh, ouch. See, to me, 1 and 2 are obvious, so I really don't want to ask them. That, to me, is just kind of... That's not cool. I mean, 1, if I wanted to apply pressure, but I don't really want to in that kind of way, so no one in this village would talk to me. And this surprises you? Well, no. Good faith to you. Really? Oh, come on. Please, I need to talk to you. Is that so? I just want to find this man. His name is Janaki Renba. Your husband, perhaps? Gone wandering. I'm afraid something's happened to him. If we had seen your husband, if he had met with an accident among us, what would Iox do? Fearing a bit of retribution, fair enough. Ooh, definitely not 2. That's not me at all. I'm not sure I believe 3 either, given how these people feel. So I'm just going to go with 1. I just want to know where he is. We have not seen him. Now leave. Really? Problem number 1 is I understand why he's lying to me. But I'm not going to necessarily lie to him about number 3 when I'm not entirely sure. Iox's position here. I did get rescued by an Ioxian from Elbereth. So there is that, but I don't. Oh yeah, that doesn't excuse anything if they're oppressing these people, which I'm not quite clear if they are. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's go with number 1. I don't understand why you're lying to me. The man sighed. Your husband was here. He left in a ship. Then something exploded in the sky. Okay. I do not know if that was your husband. I actually don't remember in the game why that occurred, so... Semi-blind playthrough, I suppose? And that's all. And it is more than you deserve. Ouch. Good faith to you, lady. Please, leave us be. You know what? Okay, okay. Come on then, 6. Now, let's do a remark. Ugh. Stepped in something. That's sad. Mud, mistress. By my faith, it stinks here. Alright, let's... I do not believe pigs are known for their hygiene, mistress. So, hello? Let's check this out. There's plenty of rice stored up. Elbreath should move itself here. No, don't do that. I believe that's exactly what the Protectorate exists to prevent. In the last playthrough, I saw this, a partial playthrough. If you weren't rooting in the mud for lost roboticists, what would you be doing at this moment? What would I be doing? What would I be doing? I'd be sailing the uncharted reaches of the nebula looking for shipwrecks. There are places out there where no one's been for hundreds of years. Kind of have to agree that's what I'd be doing too. There are echoes of ancient voices. Anyway, the last partial playthrough I saw of this actually got more out of this moon on its first pass. No, I'm standing in pig muck. Otherwise, I'd be scouring the markets of Elbreath for interesting objects. Things have a life of their own, 6. Things survive, things travel from moon to moon, from person to person. Does that sound silly to you? Things traveling from moon to moon. Hardly, mistress. I am a thing. Or maybe I'd be in the library with Huang, reading up on old transcriptions. Then, when the Empire was founded, they threw out the old way of writing. Erased the past entirely. But that's all still there. You just have to know where to look. Yeah, as I kept trying to say, the last playthrough I saw of this recently, a partial playthrough, They didn't get too much further than... Well, they got a little bit further than this. Quite a bit further than this, actually. I like. They went to several different places, but they actually got more out of this moon than I did. So I have gone down a conversational path that has led me to less knowledge. And that's fine. That's part of my playthrough. I am going to... I'm going to leave this moon, and I might come back here to do another poke around for additional stuff later on. And so we left the warm, wet fields of Myrcea. And now we've got more information on the timeline. This is another mechanic in this game, which is absolutely beautifully done. This expanding and sectioned collection of events. Again, I commented this on the last game. This, to me, bears a lot of resemblance and utility to the log that is kept for you in Outer Wilds to help you track down the sort of rumors as to knowledge to seek out, as well as sort of more concrete knowledge that you've gained to help you focus in on the story, but without sort of accidentally revealing anything. And it does a pretty good job of that. This is another version of that kind of thing, or it's tracking knowledge from you because it's a very archaeological thing, tracking for you in terms of time, but with a lot of question marks in here, like stuff that we don't know, like Renba Shitburns, unknown site. If I check in on this, for example, I don't have any... Oh, do I have any knowledge? Did he crash is the only thing I know here about this knowledge. This is us landing on Myrcea, found at the base of the Myrcea goddess, and this is stuff that's just updated. If I went to all stuff known, then this would be a lot more densely packed. And you can see how far back in the past this goes here. Like, it's only been 24 days ish since this happened, and so yeah, I mean, it's just a beautiful mechanic. As far as I'm concerned, this mechanic itself is a work of art. Very pleasant to be able to move through this and try to find out what we know. And of course, this goes all the way back in time, and we can, say, focus only on knowledge about Renba, or knowledge on everything. We focus in on time like this, and then we get information about the Dark Age, because that's the section we're in. Here's Dark Age, the Modern Age. I wish I had a better way to move between these sections, because whenever you click on something, it presents a new selection of things to which that belongs, but there's no way to sort of easily explore that, I don't think. Because as you can see, there's only 3 elements here, but if I dig and drill down into something like the Grey Lady's Orphanage, suddenly I have new categories. So this mechanic is less perfect just because it's hard to know what the categories are when you can't scroll through them, but that's all right. That's a minor quibble. Like Book is Bound, one of these books that I found. Oh, the book on the Out in Nebula. So now we have finds as a category, which I couldn't get to before, but finds enables me to focus in on those categories, things that I've actually picked up during my journeys. Books. Somewhere Distant, which is probably a category for things that are just dotted around the nebula without any sort of other categorization. In any case, I am going to go get myself a cup of coffee before my obligations this afternoon. I'm going to be doing some more streaming this weekend because I'm finding I'm really enjoying it. I will stream a little bit more of this. I might interleave this with another game, though. I've got so many games, and I've started so many partial games on my streams because I'm really new to this and haven't figured out what my pattern is. But this game I'm playing, because I played it before and loved it, and I got inspired to replay it, there's at least a couple other games, including ones that I picked up that I have not yet played before. And that's part of what streaming is about, right? I love the blind playthroughs. I love watching other people's blind playthroughs, even of games that I've played myself or seen a dozen times before. And it's always more exciting when it's blind. So I may do a little bit of this because I adore the game.
I may do, and I haven't played it in a while, and I may interleave that, I think, with, I'm not sure what yet. I'll have to pick a game. I've been picking up various titles, a lot of indie stuff, that I think might be intriguing to try out. Um, yeah, stuff I've seen other streamers pick up on, and then obviously I put them down and not watch them. Um, yeah. Also, going to be doing some programming streams. I've been doing a little bit of live coding because I write code for a living, but I need a way to explore interesting things whilst not feeling like I'm just typing into the ether. I'm finding it interesting to explain as I go. It helps organize my thoughts, and I can take you all along for the journey. I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit more topical and less rambly, though. But as you can tell, I ramble a lot, so I don't know if that's going to work out. I'm still enjoying it though. So, thanks very much for joining my stream, and we will come back to this pretty soon now. I appreciate you joining me. This is Code Weaver, and I will see you all in the next stream.